I'm going to go in editing as I go. And then he gave that man a Murphy Award. I got to change. He gave that handsome man a Murphy Award, which made him only an Emmy, a Grammy, and an Oscar, and a Tony away from being a coveted MEGOT.
I survived the 60s twice. Some didn't, and we missed them.
Loud men in yellow vests everywhere.
Hair color is like hunger. I see it everywhere I go.
Between the solid and the gas, between the ice and the steam let off when a sudden anger irredeemably distorts a friendship.
Because I had to work the next day, so I needed to know what now was then. And how many more nows were between when now was then and when it would be the time when now was when I was at work. So I went to Wawa to figure out what time the world thought it was.
We could never survive the brutal life of a poor Victorian family.
A crown sits upon me, pears, peaches, falling upon ancestral shores.
Perhaps we can blame the 12 hours in bed last night, the non-wolf breakfast and friendly discussion this morning, the good shit you just took, for rendering you too comfortable for poetic depth.
Gratitude with attitude. Don't sell me no platitude.
Mr. Warren greeted her politely, noticing nothing, and ushered Eliza to the ballroom, crushing with infinite gentleness the flowers in Eliza's sash.
Grace is received in a cup of gratitude.
I ate him every day, licked, tasted his soggy sweet saliva in my mouth, and loved every minute of it.
The funhouse mirror of memory presents a childhood marred by mistakes.
No one can take my gratitude from me.
I don't know what will happen when I open my eyes and when I open my heart, but I can't wait to see what love looks like.
Look to the clouds. They are as footprints, like God is dancing over the earth.
Yabba dabba doo!
We needed that.
The only other piece of advice I can offer you is if you don't absolutely have to, don't ask Janet questions. Let her unleash for as long as you can handle it.
This is not a problem. Candles were lit while the silent prayers extinguished the light that day.
You did one better and you died.
We regret to inform you that today your student was reported to have stabbed classmate George Wharton III with a paperclip and taken 50 cents from Theodora Monzo. And that when an investigation was conducted, all Shiloh said was, "I ain't no snitch."
I found pleasure in creativity, the two hookers swimming in a sea of mohair, cashmere, boucle, and smooth cotton.
No map can articulate the death of love, the valley of despair, the mount upon which Jesus gave a sermon in a language no longer spoken.
I may not have known it existed, but I sure knew when it was missing.
Prisms spend their entire lives spending the light.
A flush of rabbits, the nine of moons.
Perhaps forgiveness requires astigmatism. Perhaps forgiveness requires corrective lenses.
So here is my tribute, my brief little ditty. In spite of myself, I pay homage to a poem that's shitty.
Fear is the illusion that makes courage possible.
A golf resort is as good a place as any for a poetry workshop, I suppose.
Stripped of the importance that came with being one of the big fish in a small pond, he was just another guy.
I remember when her mother called to tell me she had found the pictures.
Well, my soldier son, your little brother burped into the envelope. So if you're wondering why it smells like burgers and fries, now you know.
If I were to hold it all, the rage here is so close, so intimate, I'd sour. I don't want to sour.
Oh, brother dear, I never start fights. I end them.
Although you sit folded on my closet shelf like the head of a prized stuffed deer, you'll never be my favorite jeans, just a memory of that skinny spring.
Would you rot with me and cloud the eyes of God?
At karaoke, I can write about risk or take one. And later, I promise to forgive all the times I did stay glued to the many chairs in my life.
Suddenly,
Carving his name first across their throats, so that as they speak, it's all that pours out from the gap.
Lotus Eating Company. Feral girls recline sugar, roiling robust loins, batting, cock itself raw, battered. Pious eyes unmold, stained, crushed, turncoat like so many. Make stones act time so.
We are now rolling out the Gaza Nakba, humanity's tendency to kill those they
I went from the emergency room to giving myself room to re-emerge. From thinking I'd die to knowing I should and could live. I really need some coffee.
Begin.
Coffee.